Não é tempo técnico, mas é intervalo aqui no podcast. Já imaginou se seu time tivesse um seguro para não perder nunca? Pois é, isso não existe. Mas com a Zurich Seguros, quem não perde nunca é você. Na Zurich Seguros, os planos se adequam às suas necessidades em qualquer momento da sua vida. Seja seguro de auto, residência, vida e muito mais. Diferente de alguns times, na Zurich Seguros você pode confiar. Para saber mais, acesse zurich.com.br ou consulte seu corretor.
Meu nome é Cairo Santos e eu sou kicker e único brasileiro jogando na NFL. Cada chute, cada jarda conquistada, cada passo me levou para mais perto dos meus sonhos. Agora, a cada R$200 em compras com seu Visa cadastrado, você tem a chance de ficar mais perto do sonho de assistir ao Super Bowl 59. E usando o seu cartão de débito, você ainda concorre a prêmios diários de até R$1.000. Não importa o tamanho do seu sonho, dê o primeiro passo. Visa, apoiando os seus passos aonde você quiser chegar.
Ends ungracefully for the Bears. Second straight week we can't score a touchdown. We lose to the hapless, pathetic New England Patriots. What was it, 19-3? I don't know where to start. So I guess we just do what we usually do. Stay down our path. Good, bad, and ugly. Q, you got any goods from this game?
Did you watch the game, folks? Like, why are you asking me, was there any good? There was no good. The only good thing was before the game even started, we had hope. And this is why y'all got to have more informed votes. Ever since what's his name became the president-elect, the Bears ain't won no games. It's already starting. It's already starting. Everything already going bad.
It definitely felt like a continuation of Wednesday morning. No cap on that shit. It definitely.
Y'all let them people get the Senate. Y'all let them get the House. Y'all let them get the presidency, and now they passed legislation that the Bears can't score a touchdown. That's what did happen. They done passed legislation the Bears can't score a touchdown. That's what they did.
So the answer is no. Tiff, you got any goods?
I mean, you could call out a good play here or there. You know what I'm saying? But that leads into the
not offensively.
There were a few good plays defensively. There was interception. You know, there was a couple good special teams play. You know, there was a good run back by Carter. I mean, there were, if somebody forced you to say good, you could pick out a play or two on the defensive side or on special teams where they had a good play. But then that turned directly into the bad and ugly from those plays. So do with that as you may.
I don't want to.
So we can get to the BCS. Maybe we can get into the college playoff because we're not getting to the NFL playoff.
Can we? I don't see any AP polls putting us in any top 10. Nah. Top 10. Nah.
I feel like at this point we can give Oregon a good run for their money.
Not the way they be running the score, bro. We can't score once. Can we?
Yeah, but I feel like our defense can hold them under 20. We might have a chance. They're a little smaller on their defensive lines. We might be able to run the ball more.
Has moxie. Their coach has bravado. He thinks very highly of himself.
Well, everybody who's currently in the college football playoffs probably has a better head coach than us. I'm not going to deny that. But I'm just thinking that possibly maybe our physical advantages might work. Although our offensive line might get whipped by Georgia. I'm not even being funny. I'm being serious. I don't think that we could block Georgia. I'm being serious. I mean, if you want to be realistically, they got two guys right now that by this time next year will be starters in the NFL. So if they're NFL quality starters, they should probably be able to beat our tackles.
Well, I don't know. Y'all say a lot of things about college talents, and then when they get to the NFL,
see, there you go. You over there. That's the Caleb Williams shade, and we don't even need that right now. We don't even need that. No, you ain't been nice all season. No. You ain't been nice. You've been a stepmom who does not like the stepkids. No. That's all what it is. You the stepmama that don't like the stepkids. You don't here's a gift. Here's a birthday gift. You just waiting for that kid to mess up. You was waiting for Caleb to have a C on his report card so you can tell his daddy. You want to go send Caleb back with his mama. That's what you want to do. You want the daddy to give up custody.
This wasn't a C. He's had C's before.
I'm just saying, this is what you've been waiting on.
No, let's move on. I'm not gonna get on no Caleb diatribes right now. It's coming. It's coming, but we ain't gonna do it.
Oh, we know it's coming. It's just giving me stepmama vibes. Like stepmama that does not like the kid vibes.
Nah, kids are innocent. I don't have no problem with no kids nowhere.
Caleb is innocent too. He's a kid too.
All right, man. Okay, that's what's up.
So as you say, Q, the Bears can't block anybody.
Anybody.
I think that leads us right into our bad. Q, take the stage. What was the bad from this game?
The bad was earlier in the season, we had a Bears Colts preview with one of our affiliates, and they told us how bad Matt Pryor is. And Matt Pryor showed us how bad he is. Good God. When he was at guard, we could hide him a little bit. When he was out there at tackle, he showed how stiff, how slow, how unaware he is in pass protection. And they said he was horrible in pass protection. And he showed you how horrible he was in pass protection. Tevin Jenkins had his, I don't want to say annual injury. What is it? His biannual quarterly injury? Quarterly injury? Bi-weekly injury? I'm so sick of him limping up off the field, laying on the field, and then looking so dejected when he walks to the sideline. I was a Tevin Jenkins fan. As far as I'm concerned, he's done his last walk to that blue tent. Go in that blue tent and don't come out of there. Just disappear. I don't know if you all watch From. Go to the faraway tree like the mama did and go out the other side and don't reappear. Don't come back.
I mean, I don't
need to see no more Tevin Jenkins.
We can't get rid of him. I mean, he's our best.
He's actually the best offensive. Yeah, he is.
So we can't get rid of him unless this is a fantasy world where we just, playing fantasy football and building our own offensive line. We certainly can't get rid of him. I mean, he does continue to stay hurt. I like the whole offensive line. I mean, yeah, it's just they're all hurt. I don't know where you go from there, but you can't get rid of him. He's literally our best offensive lineman. We
have 4 inactives going into Sunday on the offensive line to come together.
And it showed.
Tiff, what's your bad?
I mean, for me, it was really all ugly. If I'm just being honest with you, I'll throw this random one into bad because, it kind of stands alone. But, I try to listen to what they say during the broadcast. And we have the 4th most pre-snap penalties in the league. 4th most pre-snap penalties in the league. So for a team that's on the struggle bus, again, every week we compound it with mistakes that are solvable, that are avoidable. And to have that many penalties, game in, game out, we say it every week. Again, this is just rinse and repeat. We're saying the same things over and over and over. It goes back to discipline. It goes back to coaching. It goes back to players not caring, right? It's the first week or two, you getting penalties here or there, or there are off play. I mean, every team gets penalties. That is a part of the game. But to consistently, every single week, when you got an offense that is just can barely put drives together to stop momentum, to stop flow with penalty after penalty after penalty, it's insane. So if I had to pick a bad, I'm going to pick that one because really everything was ugly, but that's kind of a standalone stat. So that's always ugly or bad.
We lead the league we have 19 false starts on the season.
It's like, bro, and it's not always the offensive line. Sometimes it's a receiver. Sometimes it's the tight end. It's just they're so undisciplined to me. Again, mainly comes back to coaching. The onus is on the players too. But why are we so undisciplined at every turn? It's crazy.
DJ Moore even got a false start.
He's got more than one this season, I think.
That's just undisciplined.
They really look like they're out there like, man, I can't wait for the offseason, bro. Mail it in is an understatement to me. it just looked like, man, hurry up and get this clock to 0. Hurry up and get this season over with, because everybody threw. The offensive line looked like they hurt, tired, and they tired of getting the blame for everything. The receivers looked like they fed up. The defense looked like we tired of playing hard and making plays and it not mattering. Like, everybody looked like packed this season up.
I feel that the team, they came out the tunnel just ready to get on with their weekend. Like everybody had plans after the game. That's exactly how they played to me. Like no one cared about that game. Like, hurry up to get to 3:00 so we can go on about my day. I don't know if everybody had a date. Everybody had.
I mean, and it was a home game. It was a home game. We had this long home streak win record to defend. We were playing a very beatable opponent, our last beatable opponent. If there's any time to get a dub and turn the season around somewhat, get some momentum going, this was it. And no one looked like any of those things mattered. No one looked like they heard that we were playing. I don't know if they thought we had a night game and they got surprised when they had to come out at noon. I don't know what happened, but it really looked like everybody was like, hey, run this thing through, do what I got to do, half run my route, up, jump outside, whatever. Let's get it done.
Maybe they're tired of their head coach.
And that goes into my bad right there. My bad for the game was vibes, bad vibes. I'm watching Sunday Night Football, and Detroit Lions, they're down 26-7 early, and no time that they ever showed that they were confused or flummoxed about what Houston was doing. They just kept fighting. They ain't just sit back and let the loss happen to them, unlike the Bears. And that's exactly what we've been seeing from this team in Chicago, the alleged monsters of the Midway, the last 2 weeks. They just let the shit happen to them. They just say, fuck it. They roll over and say, rub my belly. I'm good. I'm good on everything that's going to happen. You can't, that's not a way you can live life. You definitely can't play football like that. You got to go out there and take it, grab the horns by him, and make the game do what it's going to do. And the Bears do not want to do anything. They just say, well, if it's not going our way, well, another loss, whatever.
And you know what? You make a great point that I had the same thought last night. The Lions were down. Jared Goff threw 5 picks in that game, okay? Earlier in the day, Minnesota was down. Sam Darnold threw 3 picks in that game. Consistently this season, Jordan Love has thrown picks, and the Packers have been down. And you know what all 3 of our division rivals have done in almost all of those games? They found a way to win. What have we done in almost all of our at least recent games? We found a way to lose. And that's really the story of this season for us versus our opponents, versus our division. Every single game, Detroit last night, like I said, Minnesota. I mean, things were not going their way. Houston was killing them in that first half. But yet they stayed poised. They had leadership. They had direction. People cared. People were out there making plays. And guess what? They found ways to win. And yet we are finding, as always, the most improbable ways to lose. And that really sums up us versus them.
I can't say it any better than that. So with that being said, let's segue right to our ugly. So my ugly, the leaders of the team, the leader of the on-field offensive unit, DJ Moore. I know you all have been talking about him and his histrionics and bad body language in previous episodes, but for me, that doesn't really arrive with me the same way as most others, because I see it as like debate TV minutia, stuff like gossip, things that just want to inflame social media and get their virality and score up. But a couple of things he said in the interviews last week leading up to the game against the Patriots raised my people's eyebrow. Take a listen to some of these things, and we can talk about how they jump off at you.
He rolled his ankle right on that particular play, so that's what I saw, and then it's that's what it was, and then we just moved to the next play.
Once he steps out voluntarily, is he not eligible to do anything when he gets back on the field, even like be a decoy and take up a defender or anything? Can you?
No, yeah, yes you can, yeah, you got to come back in and establish and all those things, but yeah, you can do that for sure. But if again, he's coming here in 2 seconds. You can ask him about the play.
Tweaked ankle. I was coming back because I seen Caleb scrambling and like ankle went in and out. I was already couldn't stop, so my momentum took me out of bounds, and then I just walked off. Which the noise, I hear it, seeing it, really didn't care. So it is what it is.
Do you understand why people saw that as a bad look?
I mean, they could take it how they want to. They wish they did, and without even knowing what happened mid-play. So, I mean, can't stop y'all from doing what y'all want to do.
You lose 2 games in a row in the manner with which you guys have lost them, and you start to wonder from the outside, has Matt Eberflus lost his football team? So I'll ask you, has Matt Eberflus lost his football team?
I want to say no. The message yesterday was that we know we 4-4 now. It's just like being 0-0. But you just got to go out there and start stacking wins how we did. And that's the best thing we can do is win and then let the chips fall how they fall after we do so.
I know my 2 co-hosts, Tiff and Q. I know you guys are stand-up citizens, right? So I know you've never been in a situation where the police are trying to jam you up, things that you have said. So
I don't do no talk.
Right. So you probably don't know that you need to be unequivocal in your answers. Where was you at yesterday at 9 p.m.? The crib. Who can vouch for those whereabouts? My wife or my mom, whomever the fuck. Direct answers to direct questions, right? Do you think Matt Eberflus has lost the locker room? I want to say no. That's the type of answer reporters and journalists love to hear because now they can drill down and ask you a whole bunch of follow-up questions and create a narrative. Tiff, do you smell what The Rock is cooking, or am I doing too much when I'm looking into this? Because it sounds like he's absolutely throwing Eberflus underneath the bus.
I don't take it as him throwing him under the bus. I see how it would be taken that way. But I take it in the guy, working in PR and kind of that field. I take it in the guise of not everyone, even if they've talked to the media their whole life, is 100% media savvy and knows, that I unequivocally have to stand up for this guy. / maybe he doesn't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like DJ is.
He stood up for Justin Fields.
But Justin was his guy. But with Justin, he did say it is what it is too. He said, this is a business. It is what it is. He did have, and Justin was his guy. He had rolled for Justin. But when it happened, because people were like, whoa, that was kind of callous of him. But I didn't take it as callous. I think that kind of is DJ's personality. Like, he is very like, hey, if y'all want to take it like I wasn't playing hard, I'm not finna sit here and defend myself to who? To people on Twitter who are going to say, or so that's kind of how I took it. More so than him. No, he did not staunchly defend Eberflus. Definitely not. He did not ride for Eberflus. Definitely not. But I'm not taking it as the opposite either. I'm taking it like, well, I mean, I want to say no. Maybe he ain't had conversations with the locker room like that. Like, we can tell by the way the team is playing that they're not riding hard for Eberflus, okay? They're not out there like Dan Campbell's team is riding for him. But, I mean, you putting DJ in a hard position because what he says, yes, the team's 100% behind Eberflus, and then they come out and play like shit, or he know he's lying, or, I mean, that's a tough position for him to be in. So I don't take it for more than it is. To me, the way the Gas is playing says enough about what they feel. So that's my opinion on it.
But we know that's a lie, though, right? We know that they've had talks about this. They had these player-only meetings, these captains meetings that's been blown up. And we've gotten the notes about that. They've talked about these things.
Right. But you also have that line of, damn, I'm not gonna throw my guys under the bus. I mean, what is he supposed to say? You want him to lie and say, oh, hell yeah, the team is riding for Eberflus, or you want him to be like, nah, we off Eberflus. I mean, what do you really want him to say? He gave I want to say no. He gave a kind of middle of the road answer. So, I mean, I don't take issue with what he said. Like I said, you want him to take a stand one way or the other, and then that kind of leaves him on an island by itself. When Justin told the truth last year and said, yeah, maybe these play calls ain't the best, he got crucified for forever and ever, throwing the coaches under the bus. So it's like, in that situation, I don't know that you can win.
I see where you're going, and yeah, I would lean to your expertise in that field, PR, right? But what he said is, I want to say no. It's like he's unsure.
Listen, we done all gave answers like that before. Whatever the situation was, whether your boo was saying, do you still want to be together? And you talk about, I want to say no. Yes, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we've all been in scenarios where we gave them vague ass, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to rock the boat ass comments. And that's exactly what it was. But my point is, what did we want? You know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody on the show was a specialist in them vague answers.
No, not me. I mean, I say feelings, but I'm pretty direct. So that's not my bag. I'm a fairly direct person.
I didn't say you guilty.
Oh, okay.
I could have been talking
directly at me.
Could have been talking about myself.
I'm sure you were. Oh, I'm quite sure.
I know I ain't got no experience in this.
YouTube, everybody does. Everybody, whether it was at work, whether it was to your parents, everybody then gave a vague, I can slide, because if somebody confront you, you can say, well, nah, I really meant this. Or no, why was it? No, everybody in life then gave a very vague, could go either way answer.
Everybody except for black men, because we all know black men don't lie or cheat.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Facts.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. Okay.
Q, how did you take DJ Moore's recent comments and some of his recent comments and his play Sunday?
His play was kind of uninspired. That's not the DJ we're used to seeing. I know there was one catch in the second half where he showed some emotion. I don't know if that was forced or anything, but as far as the comments, I think that correlates directly to the pulse of the team. I don't think it's a team that supports this coaching staff. I mean, we've seen Kevin Byard, we've seen Jalen Johnson, we've seen Cole Kmet. We've seen these guys come out and kind of second guess in-game decisions and coaching strategy. So I feel like DJ Moore is fulfilling his obligation to talk to the media and not directly say, hey, Eberflus and Waldron are dummies. But I kind of feel like it's, man, y'all see what's going on. Y'all see what it is. I'm going to be the team player. I'm going to be good guy, but read between the lines. Y'all see what's going on. Don't ask me. Y'all know they ain't good. That's why I took the DJ Moore comments.
And what's odd to me about this whole situation is not that the players are off the coaches or whatever, but this Eberflus hadn't changed since last year. We arguably had the same or worse offensive coordinator last year. So why wasn't there this level of dissension last year is my sole question. If this is just about the coaching staff and making bonehead decisions and blah, 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 they've been doing that since they've been there. Eberflus has been making bonehead decisions since he's been there, but he had the team. Again, Shane Waldron is not a great offensive coordinator, but the one that we had previously was arguably worse. So why is there this level of dissension at this point in the season when a lot of these players, the vast majority that seem to be frustrated, and maybe they just at their wits' end. Maybe they like, oh, man, we was riding with you and we're finally off you. But it just seems weird to me that the vast majority of the team is not new to this, and they not new to this level of dysfunction, but there is a level of disdain and anger coming from the team that we have not seen in previous years. So that's the part that's odd to me.
I think this year there's a certain level of expectations. This is a roster that is loaded with talent. This is a roster that resembles a playoff team, and they're clearly not performing like it. So I think there's a different level of frustration met with expectations.
Speaking of people who don't live up to expectations and probably should be fired, Tiff, where's your ugly?
You laid the carpet a little bit for me. My ugly is not someone who should be fired. So let me preface that. I'm not gonna go into the coaching staff. I'm sure Q may take that ball and run with it, or we may in a minute. But it's time for me to just have a little realistic conversation about our boy Caleb, okay? Because also everybody know where I was before the off season. But hey, we made that change. I've been, on this train. I've been, taking the good with the bad, understanding that he's a rookie. Whoop, 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 whoop. But I would like us to have an honest conversation about the way that he's been playing. Okay. And let me just read a few things. So I'm gonna start with his accuracy issues. Okay. Caleb has thrown more than 23% of his passes off target. The only other quarterback above 19% is Bryce Young. Some of that is pressure, but he is also throwing a league worst 19.1% of his passes off target without pressure. Caleb getting sacked, which again is not all on him. We've already said how terrible the offensive line is, also coupled with injuries on the offensive line. So all of his sacks are not solely on him, preface. But I would like to know where all the people were who told me how quickly Caleb gets rid of the ball. Where are Harry and everyone else who proclaimed that Caleb was already light years ahead of people who were in the league because he gets rid of the ball so fast, he processes defenses.
Not even on the Bear podcast. How we get a shot?
I'm wondering because there was a lot of talk about how quickly he processes defenses, how quickly he gets rid of the ball, his footwork, all these things. And all I kept saying is, college is a different beast than the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Let's give him his flowers for what he did in college, but that doesn't always translate. So now we've got a situation where literally a Pats defender noted that Caleb had already held the ball for 6 seconds or longer on 34 plays. That's what they saw in their scouting. And guess what? New England used that information to the best of their ability, sacking him. They only had 8 sacks across their previous 6 games, okay? The Pats defense. How many times did they sack Caleb?
Big 9.
9 times. 9 times. They only got 8 the previous 6 games, and they sacked him 9 times. Again, all the sacks were not solely on Caleb, but some of them were from him just not throwing the ball away or holding the ball too long. We had the same rinse and repeat play where we could have been in field goal range, took a sack, put us back to midfield, we're out of field goal range. It's just like, again, I'm not laying all the offensive woes at his feet, but this is this is what comes with when you're so overhyped from the media, from fans. You don't get that grace of coming in and make these rookie mistakes. You don't, because it is. If you're watching the games, it doesn't look great, especially now that the team is not playing well. It hasn't looked great, and there's no sugarcoating on it. So that's one of my uglies, and I'm not, linger on it too long, but I just want fans to be real about it because that was my concern. Like, let's not build him up too much to have him tumble so far if the first year doesn't go like everybody expects. But that's what happens when all that hype and you play into that hype too. This is what happens.
Shout out to Harry because clearly he protects Caleb Williams much better than any of his offensive line.
Bro, get him on the field. Get him on the field.
Going crazy and all the bear groups on social media protect Caleb. When you see Tiffany get on her ass because she's trying to get down on your boy. Harry don't play that, Tiff. He gonna get on your ass.
He was his main defender. He was one of the main ones that told me how quickly he gets rid of the ball, how quickly he processes, bro.
Please clip this and make sure Harry gets tagged so we can get on Tiff ass. Because Harry ain't playing. He's sliding for Caleb. Y'all think Dirk had people that was going to slide and spin?
Hey, I'm glad. I wish one of his offensive line would slide for him. But
irrigation room and do no talking. He not finna leave no trails. He did the sliding.
Tiff, everything you said about Caleb is true. Everything you said. He's off target. He's been off target a lot the last 3 weeks. And all of it can't be on the pressure. However, I do want to posit this. Once we started losing offensive linemen left and right, and the pressure has become more repetitive, I've noticed that Caleb Williams is now, his eyes have moved from downfield to right here. He's watching the rush because he's looking for where I got to make my moves and got to move around and da. He's not watching. He's not looking for his reads. He's not moving through the pocket and doing that. He's not doing the things he's supposed to be doing to be an effective. That is on bad play design, bad coaching, and bad offensive linemen.
I think the only thing I would counter that is, again, no, he's not looking down the field, and nobody's, even able to get that far down the field. But again, going back to not necessarily this game, but not taking those checkdowns either. You know what I'm saying? So there is an element of him not being able to look down. And I don't blame him, man. It's only so much you want to get put on your butt. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I get that now he's kind of a little like, shoot, I'm going to get rid of this baller. I get it. That's human nature. But again, previous games, he wasn't taking the check down either. He was looking for that home run over and over. And a lot of this falls on the play calling. Let's call plays that are Caleb friendly. Let's call plays that get the ball out quickly. But again, we go back. It looks like last year where we're dinking and dunking. And everybody was saying it was because Justin Fields couldn't throw the ball far enough. Well, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was, again, terrible play calling, terrible coaching, not great protection, these same things that we've been saying year after year after year. Because this game, I don't think we threw the ball down the field more than a couple times. I mean, everything was 2 yards here, 5 yards there. It was just bleh. Everything about it.
I don't think that is a huge factor in how they're playing. I don't think they worry about the outside noise. I don't think people building up Caleb causes him to falter on the field. So, I mean, it is what it is. The hype that was built for Caleb coming out of USC and Oklahoma was legit hype. He earned that hype. This was a guy who was a Heisman Trophy winner by his sophomore year, was one of the most electric quarterbacks we've seen over the last decade. So the how he's performing at the NFL level and the hype he earns, I don't think they correlate. I just think the Bears they haven't done him no favors. Obviously, he's not playing well. It's a mess. It's a mess.
They gotta correlate, though. They gotta correlate because he's a human being. He's a human being. He wants to go out there and ball. He wants to be that guy. He wants to be that guy. So if you've been built up as that guy and you want to be that guy and things are not yet working out for you, you can't say that doesn't affect somebody. Like, that's not even humanly possible to constantly hear detractors and people saying, oh, he ain't all that they said he was. That you can't tell me that doesn't detract. And on the flip side, for the rest of the team, you thinking this going to be the year, not solely putting it on Caleb, but you thinking it's going to be the year and things aren't working out maybe how they were built up to work out. That's frustrating to them too. So I don't think that's reasonable to say that it doesn't factor in at all.
But I think when you get to this level, all players are confident in their ability to play, not just Caleb Williams, not just the guys that are hyped. I think they're all starting quarterbacks are confident. So when they're not playing well, they're going to take that hard anyways, whether they were the big hyped number 1 pick or the last pick in the first round or a 4th round pick. So, if
that's true, then why are we always talking about coaches and teams ruining players then and ruining their confidence? If that's not a real thing, if that's not possible, why is that always a narrative? This player got ruined by this team or this coach or this.
I think those are different points. When we look at Caleb, he is a gifted, talented player, and he's not being utilized right. And he's not in the best place for development. And Chicago's proved that time after time with several top quarterbacks. We've seen talented guys come through here over the last 15 years, and we see Chicago do the same thing. We don't have good protection, good scheme. Jay Cutler, Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, all those guys had talent and ability, and none of those guys.
Just wants to throw Mitch in there too.
No, I don't want to put Mitch in there.
I'm telling you what he wants to do.
No, we're not putting Mitch in there.
Oh, okay.
Mitch was not the same level of quarterback as those other 3 guys. The other 3 guys, much more accomplished, either in the pros or, although Mitch did get a Pro Bowl, or coming into the NFL as prospects. The only person that hyped Mitch Trubisky was Ryan Pace. And that,
how dare you line my name up with Mitch?
I just say
don't
what
like
you want to do.
No Mitch disrespect, Vince. I know you were a huge fan of his coming out of North Carolina because your favorite team is North Carolina. So you wanted no slander being done to Mitch Trubisky, and you held on to him.
No slander to the Tar Heels.
Very end. Go Tar Heels. I'm sorry, but this Tar Heel isn't the one. The best Tar Heel that came through Chicago is Michael Jordan. But shout out to Kobe White.
Thanks.
That's another good start. Shout out to Julius Peppers. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pay. Mitch Trubisky is not a good Tar Heel. You will no longer defend him. It is over.
First of all, I am not a Mitch defender. I think he's terrible. You're the Mitch defender. Cut it out.
You were always the Mitch truther.
And in fact, both of y'all, I've got receipts on both of y'all.
No, I was never a Mitch defender. I just ride for my team in my court. I was never a Mitch.
You ain't riding hard. You riding a lot less for a certain quarterback than you.
It's not that I'm not right. It's not that I'm not riding for him. I actually feel bad for him and the rest of the team. Like, it's not that I'm not riding for him, but I would like us also to call a spade, just like we've done with everybody else on the team. Like, he's not exempt from it because of these other factors. And you know what I'm saying? Like, everything's not laid bare. Again, the offensive line's not great, but everything not laid bare on them. And I bet you they get tired of hearing that shit. I bet you they get tired of everything being laid at their feet. And guess what? If we was winning and Caleb was balling, that same level of praise wouldn't be coming their way either. So I guess they kind of have a thankless type job, but it's all bad on all the way. But it's mainly on the coaching staff, not developing him as they should, not putting him in great positions to have simple plays that work. I just don't know why we cannot find coaching staff that know how to work with the talents of the players that they have. And I guess if it was easy, everybody would do it. But
so, Tiff, are you on the burner accounts asking for Tyson Bagent to start? Have you got on your burner accounts?
I am not in any way, shape, or form. I'm not, nothing against Tyson, whoever, whatever. But no, I mean, say, Caleb getting hurt, or just being like tapping out like Richardson, like, hey, I ain't getting a sack for a 10th time. Get me up out of here. Save that. Nah, I'm not calling for Bagent. Now, I don't understand, because last year when Bagent came in, we had a lot more quicker plays. So maybe pull that playbook. Maybe let's pull the Tyson Bagent playbook out and let Caleb play with it. Maybe that would help a little bit, because at least he was getting the ball out somewhat quickly with the play calling. But then again, we was running our favorite slants and blah, blah, blah. But no Tyson for me, thank you.
Let me correct it. So,
are you interested in bringing him back? Is that what you're saying?
Huh?
Fields is still slated to hit free agency.
I'm not. We not on Justin. We not. That's over with. We're not on that.
Ask the questions.
I want Caleb to be great. I want us to surround him with everything that he needs to build him up and be great. That's what I want.
To close up the quarterback conversation about Caleb, one, I agree with Q. I don't think that people giving him his flowers and his praise has anything to do with the unimpressive first 9 games of his pro career. I think those two things are, they don't go hand in hand.
They correlate. I don't know where that point is coming from. I never said the two go together.
No, you were saying that, this is why you shouldn't build him up, because there's ebbs and flows in the thing. And I'm saying is that the ebbs and flows are going to come regardless. It doesn't matter if we give them the flowers.
Yes, but when you're not put on that pedestal, you're given a lot more grace to have them ebb and flows. True or false? They not on Drake May or whoever like they own Caleb. True or false?
The grace comes from the person. You can decide to give somebody grace. You don't have.
Okay, now we're being philosophical. Now we're being philosophical. Now let's just be honest. If somebody is not hyped, if Caleb wasn't hyped up to that level, there maybe wouldn't be that level of fan expectation. True or false?
That's fine.
And there wouldn't be the spotlight that there is on him and his play. True or false? That's all I'm saying. We can't. Come on now. Now y'all being like, oh yes, it's all on the person to be a morally good person and give somebody grace. No, duh, we all know that. But we also know that when people are put up on a pedestal, whether it's Michael Jordan, whether it's Kobe Bryant, whether it's LeBron James, people can't wait to see you fall, and they looking with that microscope to see you fall. That's all I said.
With that
all I said the whole time is I hate sometimes how every year some quarterback is every year somebody's a generational talent. Every single year, Mel Kiper and all of them is screaming somebody a generational talent. And we know from history that a lot aren't going to work out. That's all I say over and over and over. Let's calm the hype train. Give them flowers for what they did in college. It's a beautiful thing. But let's not act like soon as he step foot in an NFL that they're going to do X, Y, Z. It just doesn't always translate. That's always been my only point.
The one thing I'm happy about with Caleb is that he has got more confidence than 3 people put together. So I'm sure he's going to pull himself out of this and still be that same dude who believes in his talent and his ability more so than anybody else.
As he should. As far as my ugly's coaching staff again. And I don't know if my mind was playing tricks on me, but while we were playing god-awful offensive football, did I see Shane Waldron on the sideline in the fourth quarter smiling, smirking? Did I see Eberflus with a smirk and a stupid look on his face?
Eberflus always has a smirk and a stupid look on his face, so that's guaranteed. Waldron, I didn't notice.
Smirking about? Get angry. Do something. Do something. Stop sitting there with that stupid look on your face while everything is going to hell. We have not scored an offensive touchdown in 8 quarters. And that includes playing 2 quarters where we were behind and they're playing pretty much soft coverage. They taking their foot off the gas. We still can't get in the end zone. That's my ugly. This whole coaching staff, they need to go. I'm disappointed. I'm not really a big fan of in-season firing of head coaches, but that wouldn't have upset me at all if I awoke from my afternoon nap to see Waldron and Eberflus gone. I don't. They're lame ducks. Get them out of here. So they ruin another quarterback. Eberflus might be ruining 2 quarterbacks, Fields and Caleb.
Crazy.
Tiff, you had anything on coaching?
No, I don't have anything on coaching. I'm gonna let y'all. I mean, I've said my piece throughout the time on coaching, but I don't really have anything more to say on that.
All right. So I'm gonna go to my Cut the Crap Award. To continue on my leaders of the team diatribe, the overall leaders of the on-the-field product are head coach and general manager, Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles. I done gave y'all this award each time I've had it this season, and for some reason it's fallen on deaf ears. For the life of me, I don't know why no one's listened. Sunday's loss was an ugly-ass bastard child of YouTube geniuses of a football mind. Hey, obviously, you're sharing the same football mind because I don't know how the fuck you continue to come up with these same lame-ass Sundays, ruining my Sundays. I'm sick of it. Ryan Poles, 2 consecutive off seasons with the most cap room in the league. You made no real upgrades to the offensive line during free agency. What Darnell Wright is ultimately remains to be seen. But when you have the number 1 pick and a shitty offensive line, you do not trade back twice and grab the 3rd best offensive lineman. That is a non-starter. Q, me and you last season, we said the offensive line was playing above their heads, and Jenkins and the rest of them were not as good as they performed last season. And now that's being laid bare for the entire NFL world to see. Everyone says the Bears ruin quarterbacks, and right now, what I'm seeing right now is that the Bears are ruining their franchise. Caleb Williams is the franchise, and he's being ruined by this team. He's been sacked 18 times since we've come out of the bye week. 18 times. And this isn't guessing the wrong players, Ryan Poles. This is worse than that. This is a dereliction of duty. Your key card, access to the building, should have been revoked the second that Caleb Williams hit the ground for the 9th time Sunday, along with the head coach, Matt Eberflus, who, let me go to him, who watched his quarterback get sacked 6 times for the 2nd consecutive game. And he put him back out there in the last series of yesterday's game to get sacked two more times and get hit another time that got called for a flag. Why? Why would you do that? Are you not familiar with Chicago history? Have you never heard of Derrick Rose? The game is over, bro. Why you got the franchise out there getting hit for no reason? That is an inexcusable. That is a fireable offense, more so than losing to the 2-win New England Patriots. More so than having an inept response to the Arizona Cardinals after you lost a game on a Hail Mary. I've run out of times when I said Matt Eberflus should be fired tomorrow. I've said in the 3 seasons, I believe I've said at least 6 times already. And for some reason, he's still fucking here. He should have not have been allowed to address the media Monday morning, in which he said, and I quote ESPN 1000, that they are still in the evaluation process of a possible switch at offensive coordinator. Evaluating what, my bro? The team has scored 27 combined points in 3 games. No touchdowns in the last 2 games. What the fuck else is there to evaluate? Evaluate these nuts. You have one job this offseason. Don't fuck up the franchise. Get a better offensive program for the number 1 pick. One would assume that you wouldn't mess that up after you already messed it up the first time, and so you're 0 for 1 and picking an offensive coordinator. One would assume you would do better this job second time around. You go ahead and hire Shane Waldron. And let me tell you what Shane Waldron has done through 9 games. The Bears are ranked 31st in yards per play, 30th in yards per game, 30th in yards per pass, 28th in yards per carry, 32nd in sacks per pass, and 31st on third down. And that's with a better group of offensive talent than you had last year. As Tips explained earlier, we are terrible pre-snap. We lead the league in false start penalties. All of this leads me to believe that there's a lack of offensive cohesion in the entire building. Caleb Williams was outplayed by each of his counterparts the last 3 weeks. 2 of those counterparts are rookies. You mean to tell me that 2 other franchises have rookie quarterbacks and they have a better idea how to mold them and how to put an offensive game plan around them so that they can put their best foot forward for their rookie quarterback? Inexcusable. This is the 7th time I say Matt Eberflus needs to be fired. If there's not a change in leadership with this team immediately, then the entire roster needs to have a mutiny. They should revote, and us fans should storm the Capitol like we're an oath breaker on January 6th.
And
Oathkeeper, I'm sorry.
But we won't get pardoned like they're about to get. So just keep that in mind, guys. We will not get pardoned like the January 6th rioters, insurrections are going to get pardoned. But that's neither here nor there.
Patriots. They're actually Patriots.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Well, shit.
They're passionate.
They beat us several times this week. They beat us several times this week.
Those Patriots.
The fake Patriots beat us several times this week.
Patriots, yeah. The Patriots beat us twice this week.
With those fucking muskets. Damn.
They stormed Soldier Field. The people
They damn sure did.
The Blue got beat again, twice in 1 week.
Ooh.
Navy, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I got to add to your point, I think for me, a lot of this fall, I'm putting it on Pauls. I know people just be giving Pauls all kind of passes, but I think Pauls really thinks he's like the slyest, smartest guy in the world. And I think a lot of his off-season moves, he was so dead set on not showing his hand on what he was going to do at quarterback. I guess so he could drive up the price of Justin. I don't fully know that. I think that played into bringing Eberflus back. And I think it played into Shane Waldron, because I remember on this podcast, I ain't going to call out who said it, but they were like, oh, I think Shane Waldron's a good hire because it doesn't tip the hand on which way we're going at quarterback. I think he tried so hard to not tip his hand on what he was doing at quarterback that he messed up for a millionth time, because everybody knows if we fire Eberflus.
Who said that on this podcast? Can you?
Huh?
Can you at the person directly who said that?
No, the person who said it knows they said it. But I'm just saying, if we fire Eberflus, we going with a new quarterback. If we bring in, Cliff, we going with Caleb. I just think he was so set on, I'm not going to show my hand on what I'm doing at quarterback, that he made all these bonehead decisions. Because why in the world would you bring Eberflus back? Why in the world would you not start fresh? Why would you not learn from the history of the Bears? We've made that mistake over and over and over, but yet he fell right into it thinking he's the smartest guy in the world. And, he's about to, charm. I don't know what it was, but it's just like everything falls on poles to me. Of course, Eberflus, he got to go. If they're not going to do it during the season, we already know that's probably not going to happen. They would be breaking with every tradition to do that. And then where do we go defensively and all this other stuff? But I mean, the defense, we got some defensive woes too. So it's not like Eberflus not calling the defense would be the worst thing in the world. Because here's some more stats for us to just be sad about. Chicago is one of the worst teams at the end of halves. The Pats gained 40 yards to kick a field goal in under 30 seconds before halftime. Chicago has allowed 300 yards in the final 30 seconds of a half this season, which is almost double any other team in the league. So really, if we being honest, that we got rid of Eberflus and he wasn't calling the defense anymore, it may not be the worst thing in the world. Because we saw once again, when we think we about to pack it in and go to the half, the other team like, nah, we about to score real quick. Hold that. It's like work.
Hey, with me. Interim head coach, Eric Washington.
I'm with it.
It's wishful thinking, but I wouldn't be mad at it.
I need that in my life right now because I need a win. As you said, Patriots been kicked our ass twice this week. We've been my brain's still in a fog since last Tuesday. I'm just like, what the hell? So give me a win. Give me whatever win I gotta have. Before we go, we got beef. This is the last thing we gotta talk about. We got beef on another podcast. I'm gonna let y'all hear this real fast.
Fine. I'm gonna be talking big cash money to one payday, and it's garbage Chicago Bears. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on in the show today.
Hey, I'm so sorry. Y'all haven't scored a touchdown in 3 weeks now, is it? 3 weeks y'all ain't scored a touchdown.
You talking about the Bears game now?
The Patriots won 19-3 today.
Tay, go ahead, because I got something to say. Go ahead, Tay. Go ahead, man.
That Jaden Daniels Hail Mary was a curse. Straight losses, no touchdowns. I don't know. Caleb Williams must have been shaking in his shoes going against Jaden Daniels. He ain't done nothing.
Bro, I've been saying all along, and I'm going to keep on telling y'all, Caleb Williams is not him. I've been saying it from the beginning. He played in a Lincoln Riley offense that was catered for him to shine as a quarterback. In the NFL, you can't play that way. Not unless you have a strength offensive line and some dog WRs.
Well, they got some good WRs.
Maybe.
And let's not forget what Josh Allen like his first year.
That's correct. But Tate, I'm not disagreeing. But what I'm saying is all these Bears fans bought the hype train. Oh, we're going to be in the playoffs. We're going to be Caleb Williams ain't that dude, bruh. And listen, inside is 2020. But if I could go back and I could have kept Justin, got Marvin Harrison Jr., Joe Alt, Zach Frazier, and got a wide receiver in the second round, oh my God. Could you imagine what the Bears would look like now compared to what they actually look like? They would destroy teams.
The issue for the Bears at this point is they have no offensive line. You, me, and Tate could get out there and do a better job than them guys that they got right now. They got no offensive line. No offensive line.
See, the reason why I don't believe that is because look at the games that Swift has had having over 100 plus yards rushing.
Run blocking is different from pass blocking. You know that.
Not based on scheme. It's gap.
Right.
It's
but
gap.
when you get into a passing situation in the NFL, if you have nobody who can stand in front of somebody and keep them from pass rushers have became way better than that's a skill now.
But they wasn't sacking Caleb like that today, bro. And the Commanders wasn't sacking Caleb like that. Caleb just holds on to the ball too dang on long because he's got to see it before he throws.
Yeah, he do need to take the check down that's available. He does that a lot.
He's just like Justin. That's what's Justin's kryptonite. Justin has to see it before he throws it.
Russ was doing that today.
A little bit.
Russ is
a little bit.
Hey, listen.
But the Bears is trash. And
we're going to talk about that in a minute.
And Pay going to owe me corner time for Jet Daniels winning Rookie of the Year. The Bears ain't making the playoffs. They going to finish in the basement. And, Ma, do you know that this joker doubled down with me on the homies on Friday and said that they're not going to get swept by 2 teams in their division?
Who is these jokers? Who is these jokers?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to take Tate out of it. B-Dirt and Payday. Because Tate agreed with me. So, yeah, absolutely. Tate said, yeah, you telling the truth, G. But Payday and B-Dirt. But B-Dirt didn't bet. But Pay Show did. Man, I can't wait. I cannot wait, bro. Because they ain't that.
Didn't Pay bet corner time? Did they make the playoffs too?
Show did. And the Rookie of the Year. All of that, bro.
Mr. Woodside said Pay is going to be doing push-ups for days.
Yeah, he just pulled off 65 of them on the last show.
So
where is he wrong first?
Well, I think the padding on his back, he could tear his rotator. I think we all have our opinions, the quarterbacks, the rookies, even the dog in the background. But yourself right based on the 10-game sample size, and to come out and declare yourself right when this player is at his lowest point. That's do better, Big G. Do better. Because you were silent when he had his good games against the Jaguars and the Rams and the Bears of 4-2.
No, he wasn't actually silent. He was actually saying I was wrong. And now he does a whole 180 and say, no, I was right. That's the part that's funny to me. Tiff, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, I mean, not just I don't know if he said anything about Caleb's future. He wasn't right about that per se, but I mean, some of the things he said are some of the things I said. I mean, Caleb is not winning Rookie of the Year. I mean, we can probably throw that out. We are not making the playoffs. We could probably throw that out. So, I mean, he did say a lot of things that are not false. So, I mean, that's all I'm going to say about it.
Now, see, this is why they like you. They be asking like, "Hey, man, do you see if Tiffany's busy? Because see if you want to come on the show." Because see, this is we supposed to be staying at 10 toes down right now, Tiff. This is nation.
I mean, y'all want me to be like DJ and get up here and lie? What you want? Dang, I gave the politically correct answer. I mean, I feel like no. That's what you want me to say? I feel like he's wrong. Like I can give you the DJ answer if you want me to, but
first of all, he said the Patriots wasn't even sacking Caleb like that. Caleb was sacked 9 times.
I was like, all right, bro, maybe he's talking about a different game because the Commanders didn't. He was right. The Commanders didn't really sack him like that. But if he said
3.
Oh,
I remember Fowler.
3 is a vacation for Caleb, okay?
But the Commanders, he was under heavy duress in the Commanders game.
Yes,
Even though they hit him a bunch of times, he was under duress and he made some great escapes in the Commanders game. I mean, there was pressure like right away on a couple of those snaps. But Caleb, he did his escape thing, so he got away. But this time he wasn't so lucky against the Patriots.
And he does do that, which is I think is just a rookie thing. He does want to see him before, and I'm not gonna pat myself on the back, but all these things that I said in the offseason, it was just curious to me that the people who were, Justin detractors, I've always said the flaws that I saw in Caleb's game were the same things that Justin got, holding the ball too, long, trying to make a play. These were the things I was saying in the offseason, and here we are. So it's like, it's interesting to me, to see what I thought would be strengths and weaknesses of both of them kind of coming to fruition. And again, it's only his 10 games in, he got a lot of growing to do. We know Peyton Manning, Josh Allen. We can name out, Troy Aikman. We can name out quarterback after quarterback that had a rough, way rougher than Caleb first year and turn that thing around. So I'm not saying I'm giving up or hope is lost. I'm just saying that this is not what we expected. And I think that's part of the frustration maybe within the team and from fans, that we all kind of felt like, all right, we here. We may not be at the pinnacle of where we're going to be. We may not make the playoffs, but we're going to compete. We're really going to be in that thing competing. And now we're looking at the schedule like, can we even get another dub?
I fully expected to make the playoffs. I ain't gonna lie to you. I
did too, but I'm just saying, if we have really been fighting and been in every game, and maybe, you know, we just got a tough division and we didn't end up making it, you know, we was 9-7 or whatever, or 9-8, whatever the math would be.
10-7, yeah, we could.
You know what I'm saying? People would have been okay with it, but it's just like we're just like. We're the laughing stock now. Like, we're the team. It's like, oh, yeah, we hope we play them. You know what I'm saying? Where a couple weeks ago, that wasn't the narrative at all. So it's just, maybe it's just the way it flipped so quickly is also jarring.
Now, but see, that's the problem I'm having here. It's just these ever-changing narratives, and that's just the beast that the NFL is. Every week, the news cycle is giving you something else to chew on. As you said, Tiff, we were in games. We were in every game this season up until the last 2 weeks. And it's now we're the laughing stock because we wasn't in 2 games. The last 2 games, now we're laughing stocks. Now we're terrible. Now we're the worst team that you've ever seen. Let's pump the brakes, G.
I think it's the way we lost and who we lost to. I think it's a lot of it. If we had lost to the Lions like that or something like, you know what I'm saying, I think it would be a little bit different. But just I think it feels like coming off that deflating ass Washington loss, and it feels like the team don't have no fight. Like I said, if the team was out there fighting and competing and doing their best, and we losing to the Lions closely and whatever else, I don't think people would feel the way they feel. But the shit feels pretty hopeless for this season. Or maybe I'm the only one that feel like that.
Everybody feels like that, because these type of losses happen to every team every season. You're gonna have lose games in which you just look like you didn't show up. You're gonna be lethargic. That's the nature of the beast. Any given Sunday, we can turn around and win our next game. Hint, hint. Because I'm not. But
you usually bounce back though. If we had bounced back in this game, people wouldn't be feeling like that. We already had that type of game versus Arizona. So at some point you got to bounce back. You can't keep stringing these games together. We got
8 more weeks to bounce back.
Okay, you positive, Polly. I'm proud of you.
No, what I'm saying is that some people and a lot of these podcasters looking at you all know-it-alls, you do more talking than you do watching. You was running out the mouth, and you didn't even watch the game. You didn't even talking about what 100-yard games are you talking about from Swift? Where you talking about the 2 times he's had what? I don't even think he's had a 100-yard game.
No, he's had over 100, and he had like 90 something.
I think he had 100 yards once this season.
I think you capping on him.
No, he said maybe had 100 total yards, 100 rushing yards. I think that's once.
100 rushing yard game, but he's had a couple games. I think maybe 3 games where he had over 100 yards of scrimmage.
Yes, 2 different things, right? And then he says they haven't even been, getting in Caleb's shit the last couple of weeks. That's complete bullshit, as we already said. He's been sacked 18 times in the last 3 games, and that's not accounting for the times that they took him off because he got rough in the pass, or the times he's been running for his dear life. He hasn't had the opportunity to even show you that he's a good quarterback. And I'm not giving him any excuse, right? I'm not giving him an excuse because he has been off on his throws. But I'll say it again: if you can't trust your footing, if you can't trust your pocket to even move up in the pocket, to even move through your progressions, then what do you expect?
I agree with the dog.
I'm gonna beat that shit. I'm gonna beat that dog ass, man. I'm tired of him.
Bring him on the podcast. I feel like part of the last 2 pair fall. He's frustrated too. He's pissed.
I wanted to end the episode with something Caleb said.
Not be no shit about
it's really losing steam.
Pack them claws up, Bucko. Pack them bitches up.
No, because we can still have a winning record, and for that, claws up.
Nah,
big claws.
Yeah, if we can come out winning these games, all these games, these division games, yeah. No, not me, but I'm saying y'all can.
Put your claws up.
No, okay, that's what's up.
You the only one on the pod with
put
claws.
my hood up.
Exactly.
I'm gonna put my hood up on that.
Got the claws. Come on, man. Let us see the claws.
No, thank you.
Why?
No, thank you.
Why is so bedazzled?
Because my team ain't got no life or no shine, so I had to add some life and shine. My team is drab and depressing. So I said, you know what? Let me bring the razzle dazzle since the Bears don't never want to bring the razzle dazzle.
You look like Michael Jackson in The Wiz.
No, I do not. Although he played that role, he's on down the road.
That Mason Diddy.
He's on down the road. Don't
She's
you
really
carry nothing that might be a load. Come on, we need to sing that. That's how we need to get that stress off. Don't carry nothing that might be a load, Bears fans, including your team.
That might be a copyright strike. I don't know if I can put that in the pocket.
Hey, please put
It's
that.
just me singing the song, giving love, paying homage, and respect.
Hey, I need to see that clip. Send me that clip with tips before.
Listen, this is what Caleb Williams said after the loss to, I believe it was the loss to the Commanders. Expectations of myself are always going to be high. They're still high. We still have 9 games. We've got to figure out what's the next step. Got to figure out how to win this next week. This game's over. Can't change this game, but we definitely can change the future. That was after the Arizona Cardinals loss, actually. And if that's the motif moving forward, let's go. I'm ready to rock out. As long as they have to fire Eberflus first and Waldron.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Interim head coach Eric Washington.
We might have to wait till 2025, but I'm pretty sure. I've been wrong before, not many times, but I have. That Eberflus won't be coaching your 2025 Bears.
Oh, I gotta believe that was a dreaded vote of confidence that Ryan Poles gave him last week. There's no way. You remember? I don't know, Tiff, you wasn't on the episode then, but he said that regardless of how the season goes, Eberflus is safe. His job is safe. I cannot believe that to be true.
He said that.
A week
or so ago. What?
He's apparently got a 5-year contract.
What song? I should get fired every day. They got contracts. What that mean? He got an ironclad contract? Then he got the mafia contract? What that mean? Every coach has a contract that got fired. Newsflash. Huh?
Fire that nigga.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Poles be thinking he got named playing 3D 12D chess. That's what I always say about him, bro. Think he light years ahead. The whole time we in the past. We dust. Whole time, the whole division and passed us by. Got the Lions out here looking like that guy.
Multiverse when the Lions are 8-1 and looking like they're coming out the NFC.
The Lions look like the 2011 Patriots.
The NFC because Minnesota is limping a little bit, but they still finding ways to win.
Sam Darnold are looking more like Sam Darnold and Jared.
He is. He's slowly shrinking and reverting back, but they still finding ways to win. So
they found a way to win. They've got very good teams around them, and most importantly, very good coaching around them. So
very good coaching. Let's find our diamond in the rough.
Can we get a Kevin O'Connell, please? Can we get one of those guys?
Somebody, anybody.
Ben Johnson is the somebody I want. Or maybe, how about this? Because he's going to be looking for a job this spring. Brian Daboll.
No.
But I wanted him. I liked him coming out of Buffalo. Obviously, he's regressed a little bit. I can't see why anybody would have that much confidence in Daniel Jones. I thought Brian Daboll was a smart guy. And I don't think it was smart to.
I think that was his. I think his hand was pushed on that. I think the owner made that.
Well,
decision for him.
I think if the Giants fired Brian Daboll, I think that's a mistake, especially if you don't get that guy.
Well, they will.
Well, what he did with Josh Allen, grooming Josh Allen, he turned Josh Allen into a player, and Josh Allen was a very raw product. Coming out of what college was that? North Dakota State University.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
North Dakota State Community College University.
Josh Allen's rookie year. He looked like Tyson Bagent.
Tyson Bagent fans are not going to appreciate that, bro.
I mean, Josh Allen couldn't. He low completion percentage, very safe throws, and a lot of interceptions. I mean, Bagent threw 6 interceptions in 4. I don't know what version of Tyson Bagent Bears fans remember, but the idea that this is some high IQ, very guy who has excellent control of the offense, that is not what happened in the 4 games we saw last year. People forget they didn't score an offensive touchdown against the Panthers. Bagent didn't throw an offensive touchdown against the Raiders. There was not a lot of touchdowns.
Listen, you don't have to convince us. We not the people saying this, okay? You know exactly the crowd that's saying this, okay? They were very happy on Tuesday. You know what crowd is saying that. So you don't have to explain to us why we don't need Tyson Bagent. Trust me, we're with you.
They probably want to take their quarterback position back too.
They definitely do. They definitely do. All right, bro. Let's wrap it up. We're sad, but we're gonna win. I'm gonna get on the optimistic tip. We're gonna beat the Packers this weekend, and we're gonna start a streak of winning again, like we was winning a few games ago. Everybody's gonna turn that frown upside down, get their attitudes together, play together, win for each other.
I'm not the happiest person with Eberflus, Ryan Poles, or Shane Waldron, but they still Bears. And as long as they're Bears, the Packers are still ops. So we slide on ours.
Definitely our ops.
They're definitely
Bear
still
down.
ops.
Bear down, bear claws up.
No.
Thanks for listening to this latest edition from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Whether you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And all my homies from Chicago, we say 3 things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.